Alright, you guys, so Scandal. For those of you guys who finally caught up on those last 6 episodes of Scandal, y'all can thank me now. Just go on and thank me. You're welcome. Again, I'm going to remind you guys that Netflix is having a 30-day free trial, so you guys need to get up on that. Unlike Revenge, which is like 100 episodes, it's like 25 episodes to try to get caught up on. Scandal only is like 6 or 7 episodes. You guys can easily watch that in like 4 hours. Y'all get on this weekend. You ain't got shit else to do. Y'all sit down and watch the rest of Scandal for those of you guys who haven't. For those of you guys who haven't watched this episode from last night, let's get to the review. So the show opens with Reverend Oscar Drake missing. His assistant comes to Olivia's office one night and is just like, he's missing, and we need you to try to figure out where he is. The wife and everyone who knows him knows that something is wrong. Reverend Drake, he is a man of schedules, he's a man of routine, and he operates his life as such. And the fact that he ain't came home and Mrs. Drake don't know where he is, then it's something wrong. So yeah, where is Rev? Okay, well, Rev is getting his for real freaky deaky S&M on at the spot with some woman. I guess that last pump was a doozy, because motherfucker that had a goddamn heart attack and died on top of the lady. Now Reverend Drake, he a big man. So he's on top of a old girl, and not only did he die on top of her, but how about he had been handcuffed and tied her ass up to the fucking bed? It was just like, well, damn, you got to have them both tied and handcuffed? Like, fuck. That was a good night. Shit was too good, huh? Now, at first, Olivia and her team, they all think that she's like some run-of-the-mill hooker, that he just picked up and was getting busy with. But it turns out, no, it ain't no run-of-the-mill hooker. This is some woman who is a lawyer, an established lawyer, and it looked like old Reverend Drake was dipping in the pool over there with old girl for 15 years. Now, they have a relationship together. They were in love with each other. And it's not just some old fly-by-night, getting his swerve on. Now, did I mention that this Reverend they kind of equated him with a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., just because he's like a nationwide, like a well-known Reverend, well-respected Reverend, and he got a Coretta Scott at the house. Okay, that's Sister Drake, and I'm sure that she knew about his indiscretions, but she chose to overlook him. She probably was over it when he had asked her to tie her ass up. Baby, come on, just one time. And she was like, no, baby, I don't really want to get tied up. And he was like, just this one time, you might like it. And she went on and let him do it, and she hated that shit. And she probably was like, motherfucker, this is the last time you ever gonna tie my ass up. It's gonna be the coldest day in hell before you get up in here with my arms and legs tied up again. So he had to go get him somebody else that would. Now the mistress wants to be paid off, okay? She's figuring $6 million ought to be good enough for my troubles. Olivia does her fast talking like she always does, that she's good at. Tries to throw the lady off, tell her that, listen, you just a mistress. You ain't nothing more than that. And after she finishes her speech, old mistress calls old little baby boy about 9 years old into the room and was just like, look at him. Doesn't he look just like his daddy? And what were you saying again? So, yeah, she got some leverage. She got a baby. This could really blow up in everybody's faces if the news of this mistress gets out. So, Olivia goes back to Sister Drake and tells her, like, listen, she's got this kid, and, she wants $6 million. Sister Drake is like, hell motherfucking no. She ain't getting no $6 million. Olivia is trying to explain to her that, listen, you got the $6 million. The woman is here. He's dead. There's nothing that can be done. The family is set. It can really be a big mess if you just, if you say no. Okay, so let's think of this logically here. You want to protect and preserve the legacy, and you want your life to be comfortable, and you don't want to be having to worry about, you guys' reputation and everything. Just go on and pay the lady the money. So, the negotiations going back and forth. She wants, they finally settle on basically $6 million, but it's broken up in payments, trust funds, and such and such and such. So you think it's all done, right? Well, except that the girl is just like, now after that's settled, she's just like, no, that ain't gonna work. I want more. And Olivia's like, well, what more do you want? She's like, I don't know. And Olivia's like, listen, I know what you want. You want back 15 Christmases and 15 birthdays, and you want 15 years of waking up in his arms, sunsets and sunrises and all of that. I know what you want, but it's not going to happen, okay? You was the mistress. You was always going to be the mistress, and you that's the position that you chose. So it's never going to be anything that's going to make up the fact that you were a mistress for 15 years and now this man is dead, and honey, you ain't got nothing to show for it other than this kid. And that's fine that you have this kid. I'm not trying to make it seem like the kid wasn't worth nothing, because, kids don't choose to be here. But I think what Olivia was trying to get her to see is that, girl, this is the hand that you chose. And the good thing about Shonda Rhimes' writing is that she has the ability to say things that people think might not be able to put into words, but she so eloquently gets it put into words, into her script, and it's said, and that's why people just really, really gravitate to her shows and to her writing, because a lot of times it's things that we've thought to ourselves or that we just haven't been able to put in words. And so that Olivia was talking to herself when she was talking to the mistress as well. Basically, you the mistress. Olivia is the mistress, and so is the mistress. Y'all mistresses. Anyways, what the mistress finally decides is, I want to go to the funeral. I want to remember him just like everybody else. I feel like I deserve to be there because we've shared so much as well. The Sister Drake is like, you know what? And this bitch crazy. She gonna have to go on and say something, because she ain't walking her ass up in this church. Not today. Not under my watch. Again, Olivia's there. Thank goodness Olivia's there to kind of help this lady through it, because otherwise, the lady was going to just give up the ghost, and it was going to be all out in the news. This lady was going to... I don't even know if I felt like that girl would really go to the news. I think she was just kind of using it. Because she seemed, if you really love somebody, like, why would you want to blast them out like that at the end, when it ain't really going to do no good for nobody? Olivia gets Sister Drake to see, like, listen, this is the last step. Like, let this girl come on into this funeral so we can get this shit over with. So the girl comes into the funeral, and then, like, in a strange little twist at the end of the funeral, and, it's the processional, and Sister Drake is walking behind the casket. She sees the mistress, and, ain't nobody pointed the mistress out to her, so that's why I knew that she knew about the mistress. And she lets the mistress and the little boy walk with the, processional of the casket. Now, that was strictly for TV, because ain't I'll be damned if a bitch is gonna be fucking my man for 15 years, and then I'm gonna go on and I ain't that mature. I ain't swallowed that pill just yet. You cannot walk with me at the funeral. I'm sorry. Sit your ass back there in the pew like everybody else. Now, you guys was all hoping to find out more and more about Quinn this week, and I had done told you guys that you was not going to find out about Quinn this week. This is going to be broken up by episode. You guys won't find out the full story on Quinn and what she did really till closer to the end of the season. It wouldn't make sense for them to just wrap it all up in 2 episodes. So, yeah, y'all get patient. Y'all get patient. Quinn is going to be an ongoing story. But what we do find out is that Quinn is upset that Olivia hasn't really told her why she was able to get her off the hook. Olivia is just like, listen, you off the hook, okay? Fucking deal with it. Don't be up here wanting to know why. Just accept the fact that you're free. She can't accept the fact that she's free. So she gets a flight out, and she goes to her hometown, and she goes and sees her dad. And her dad is over it. Her dad is tired of being worried, not knowing what's going on. He ain't talked to her in however many years or months or however long it had been. And he's just over it. He's just like, you just come up, all of a sudden show up. I've been worried, you wondering when I was going to hear from you. And now all of a sudden you're here. And, the daddy is just like, whatever. So that's all you really find out about her. Huck, who has been put on the case by Olivia to go and find out where she is. He follows her to where she is, and he tells her basically, like, this is your past. You need to leave this alone. You were given a new chance, basically, and you need to come on to your new chance, and don't worry about what happened here. Again, I think Huck is talking to himself, because you guys know that Huck is having some serious issues with his past. Huck, at the end of last season, when they were really trying to find out what was going on with the girl Amanda, who was supposedly having the affair with the president, Olivia asked him to go and torture this guy to get the information out of him. She wasn't sure she really wanted to do that, because she knew that Huck's weakness was for torturing people, that he loved to torture people, he loved to kill, That's why I was telling y'all last week that he had some criminal past. I don't give a fuck if he was in the CIA. He definitely, you killing folks, torturing them, that is not illegal. That's illegal. So that's a criminal past, right? That was awakened when he went and tortured that guy to find out, you know, where the body was of the girl that was when she was in the water. Y'all see how Huck, when they was trying to figure out what they was gonna do with the body of the damn minister, and Huck was like, okay, I need some chainsaws, you know, give me some extra large garbage bags, give me a couple of wires, and, you know, give me some coffee, because Huck was ready to go to fucking work. They all looking at him like, no, we just gonna move the body, we not disposing of the body. I think Olivia kind of realized that, looked like Huck then kind of got back into the groove of wanting to torture and kill people again. So yeah, that's going to be kind of Olivia's fault, and that's why Huck is going to these AA meetings, because, you know, he's substituting whiskey for torture and kill. You know, he's just like, I love whiskey, I drink whiskey all the time, and, you know, blah blah blah, I think about whiskey all the time. But whiskey is really torturing and killing, okay? They ain't got a fucking torture and killing anonymous. So he has to go to Alcohol Anonymous, and he's hoping that he can substitute the Alcohol Anonymous you know, premise and their 12 steps. I guess he's hoping that he can substitute it for torture and killing. I don't really think that it works the same way, but he's really trying to do something about it. Po Huck. I just love Huck. Ain't he sexy? He's so intense and sexy and just so crazy. You guys, Olivia and Fitz's relationship. So now you guys know that she was Fitz's mistress all last season and all of that stuff. So this season she really trying to just leave it alone. She can't do that, you guys, because she loves him, and she truly, besides the love that she has for him, she truly has his back, and vice versa. She is like really like one of his like top aides, just, you know, one of the ones that's able to give him advice and kind of tell him, you know, guide him in his career. And he respects her for that. He calls her every night because he wants to bounce some ideas off of her. And, you know, just like you would do your loved one, you know, at night when you guys talk. And, you know, she's always there to give him the answers and everything. You guys, their relationship is just so dynamic to me. But besides their whole love, that we got a few issues. Now, first is this crisis in Africa. You know, remember last week when the wife said something about how she wants Fitz to go to war because of the people that's getting killed in Africa and blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, this week, all of a sudden, a picture shows up of what looks like a damn near like a whole village somewhere in Africa. I don't know where they were saying it was, but that, you know, all these people were killed as like genocide, I guess, by the rebels or whatever. So this was supposed to get the fire up under Fitz's ass, or him to go and attack over in Africa, wherever this place was. But, you know, he doesn't really want to do that. He doesn't just want to jump to war like that. So he starts to kind of think about it, and is thinking like, you know what, something is strange about this. All of a sudden this picture shows up after she said something last week. They look a little further, come to find out the picture was like photoshopped, and that this didn't really happen in Africa. And, you know, Fitz was just like, okay, you know, we're not going to war. I'm not fixing to let nobody tell me what to do. But, you know, Olivia is the one who had given him that advice. Don't let nobody push you into doing anything that you want to do, that you don't want to do. If you want to do it, make it be on your terms. Well, it was good that he researched that, because it didn't really happen. So yeah, these two have like this chemistry that is just off the hook. But, you know, like I said, Olivia knows that it needs to end. She cannot keep on seeing Fitz in this way. She just, because she loves him and he loves her, and, you know, he's married and his wife is pregnant, she's gonna have a baby and all blah 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 blah. It's just way too much. So one night he calls, and it was just too funny, because they were talking about the Reverend. You know, she was just like, you cannot say nothing, you cannot say anything. And he was just like, what? And she was like, well, how about the Reverend was getting his fuck on with this woman, and he died on top of her, and they was handcuffed. And he was just like, what? They're laughing and cracking up about it. And it was just, I was cracking up too, because it was just like, okay, so you got the President of the United States and this woman just shooting the shits, talking, you know, just like regular. You don't even think about all of the wrongness of this relationship. Then Olivia tells him, like, listen, it was a mistress. This wasn't just some old hooker off the street. This was a mistress that loved him, and he loved her, and they had been together for 15 years. And, you know, then Fitz sees how, you know, this is affecting Olivia, and he's just like, you know, what do you want to do? And, you know, she was just like, I just need us to stop. This needs to end. You know, I can't keep doing this. And he was just like, well, you know, tell me that you want me to stop calling. And Olivia can't bring herself to say that. And I'm telling you, that shit is sexy to me. Like when they pull your card, like, well, you tell me you don't want me. Oh, then you can't say that you don't want them because you do want them, but you can't say it. Like, oh yeah, that shit right there. I was like, ooh, that fits. No, him and Olivia, they all wrapped around each other's fingers. But what gets Olivia together quick is when the first lady is coming to meet with Sister Drake. And, they're going to get like the official response of the first lady talking to Sister Drake for, the media. And first lady goes up in there. This is the first time Olivia has really seen the first lady with her belly. She's pregnant. And, Olivia's kind of taken aback by it. And first lady knows it. She rubs her stomach like, yeah, bitch, that's for you. She goes in, the first lady goes in there and talks to Sister Drake, and Sister Drake is very upset. She done took some sedatives and she can't get her shit together. She is upset. She's pissed off that she sat up with this motherfucker for umpteen years for the nigga to go and have another woman somewhere for 15 years. So, she's just upset, understandably. First lady gets up in there and first lady's like, listen. After she clears out the room, including Olivia, because Olivia was going to stay in there, but the first lady was like, we got this, go on somewhere. Olivia goes and stands outside the door, and first lady's like, listen, you were the strong one, he was the weak one. You were the wife, okay, and you mattered. The reason why he was where he was is because of you. You did everything right. Don't be sitting up here being upset, feeling like you failed anything, because you did not fail nothing. You are the wife, and that was the mistress. She always gonna be the mistress. You are always gonna be the wife, okay? You the one that mattered, basically. And Olivia standing outside the door, and I'm like, girl, will you get your ass away from the door? I mean, why are you fucking glutton for punishment? Like, why are you sitting there listening to that? I know First Lady knew that Olivia was standing out that door, because that shit was for Olivia, okay? You are the mistress, nothing more. Except I think First Lady knows that she's not just the mistress, and that she's a whole lot more, but she also knows that Olivia loves Fitz enough to not let him jeopardize his position as president. And so it's sort of like a little twist knife. Like, it's nothing that Olivia is really gonna do about this whole situation, because like I said, First Lady knew about Olivia and Fitz, and she was fine with it. So yeah, that was it for poor little Olivia. She was just outdone when she listened to that conversation. When that first lady came out that room, she looked over at Olivia and was just like, I hope you heard that. I felt so sorry for Olivia, but you got to love that wife, okay? That is a bitch who is focused. After that, Olivia and Fitz are talking for this last one night. Fitz calls her and she is upset. She's upset about what happened, what the wife said, and she's just like, what, leave me alone. I need you to just leave me alone. We can't do this no more. As much as Fitz loves Olivia, he hates his wife just as much. Because Fitz feels like he was bamboozled into this whole thing. He was kind of ready to just give it all up. And, everything took a turn at the end of last season. And now he is fully 100% entrenched in this marriage that he does not want to be in. He's lost all respect for his wife. He has nothing for her. He can't even get together some pleasantries for her. He's just over her. And I think the wife is finally realizing, like, well, damn, I done really lost my husband here. Because he just talks her crazy. Just like, what, every time she come around, he just got this look on his face like something stink or something. He's over it. At the end of the episode yesterday, she just finally asked him, like, I need you to forgive me. I know that a lot of things have happened and you just hate me now, but I want you to remember how we used to be and how I used to be there, and we would laugh and have a good time and all of that. And I think Fitz still cares about the woman, and of course he probably loves her, but he is not in love with her. But he tells her he forgives her. He scoots over in the car and gives her a little hug and a kiss on top of the head, and then he scoots his ass back on over to the other side of the car, and that big rift in between the two of them just shows you how much distance there is in their relationship. It'll never be the same anymore, and I think she realized it. Now, the important part of this episode was the fact that they moved Reverend Drake's body. Before they realized that Reverend Drake was dead, Olivia had called the prosecutor. Now, her and the prosecutor kind of have this love-hate relationship. They're colleagues, and they would help each other out all last season. But this season, when she got that case against Quinn acquitted, the prosecutor was just like, okay, what exactly is going on? What did you do to, get this case thrown out when it was very, very obvious that this girl was guilty? He didn't get any answers for that. Well, once they found out that Reverend Drake was dead, the prosecutor had ordered an autopsy, because he was just like, okay, so a couple of days before you guys found out that he's dead, you calling me, asking me where he is. Okay, now we find out that he's dead. No, we gonna get an autopsy. Something is up with this. Well, you know, they can't get this autopsy because they moved the body. They moved the body from the hotel where they were to, you know, the Drake's residence. So, you know, Olivia in her, you know, when she was upset talking to the president saying how they need to quit everything, they need to stop it, and she was really emotional. She was like, I need that fucking autopsy stopped is what the fuck I need. If you really want to know what I need, get that shit stopped. And, you know, president is like, it's done. So he makes whatever calls he needs to make, and all of a sudden they're not doing the autopsy. Well, you know, that gives a red flag to the prosecutor, because the prosecutor is just like, now, why can't we get a fucking autopsy on the man? Nobody wants to tell him. As a matter of fact, they tell him to take a mandatory vacation because he asking too many fucking questions, basically. So I really think that the prosecutor is going to go off the deep end because he is about to really try to figure out what the hell is going on with Olivia, her connection with Quinn, the connection with this bombing, and who she knows, you know, in higher places. And we all know that that's going to go all the way up to the president of the United States. So it's about to open this whole big can of worms. I really think he's going to go crazy. Y'all saw how he had them clippings on the wall? I don't know why. For some reasons, clippings give me a fucking... I get scared of clippings. Y'all remember in A Beautiful Mind? Did you guys ever see that movie? Did y'all remember the part when the poor man had... They finally found out that he went crazy, and the woman went into the damn garage, and his whole entire garage was full of clippings of just some bullshit, some nonsense. It was like the same feeling, like he about to start these clippings and try to be following this story and figure out what's going on. And I was just like, this man is gonna go crazy. Yeah, he's about to start barking up the wrong tree, y'all. Next week is gonna be good. Alright, you guys, so I done did 2 30-minute reviews. I'm gonna try to edit them down, but it's a whole lot of information. I know I got the same yellow shirt on, y'all, but you know, I'm sorry. You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. My channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar below. Alright, so I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.